mysterious. For years, his private life has been subject to speculation, innuendo, gossip, but now, for the first time, two members of his inner circle take us into Michael Jackson's weird inner sanctum. Our Doug Bruckner has the story.
At night when it's dark, he'd hide in the bushes and scare the guards out of their wits.
It's a spectacular Neverland, 30 miles east of Santa Barbara, California.
He's never had like a relationship with a woman.
I do not think so. Being there 6 months, we would be in a position to know.
A place where superstar Michael Jackson hides among cartoon characters and exotic animals.
He asked me to bring the chimp, especially Max, who seems to be his favorite, to his bedroom. And sometimes, usually, Max stays there all night, sleep with him.
It's a place where he brings his famous friends to gorge themselves far from the public eye.
Mr. Brandon looked like he was drawn. He was almost pale. And he had a sad look in his face all the time.
A private fortress where he would run amok with his little friends, the ones young enough to be his children.
You know, it's funny, like you'd see about 7 or 8 6-year-olds, you know, clinging around his pants, holding his pants.
It's the secluded environment where he creates his greatest work.
Around his room, you'd see like lyrics pasted on the walls. And he would even write some words on his, the white sheet on his bed.
Mark Quindoy and his wife Faye were two commoners who had a special view of this bizarre private world. Mark, an attorney from the Philippines, came to America with his wife and worked at Michael Jackson's Neverland Valley Ranch for 2 years. They were in charge of 30 groundskeepers, 15 armed guards, 10 chambermaids, 2 zookeepers, and a fireman. Mark and his wife saw things Michael Jackson would prefer to keep a secret from the rest of the world. Things that many people would find very strange.
He wears a surgical mask a lot. This is one of his disguises, and some friends and people have asked me whether it was true that Michael's nose was falling off.
Mark was Jackson's ranch manager, and Faye Quindoy was Michael's chef. It didn't take long for the Quindoys to notice their boss's eccentricities. It happened as soon as they tried to serve him his meals.
On our first week at the ranch, we started to be terrified on the fact that Michael is about the only person we know in the world who never cared for food. He did not care for food at all. He would only drink Evian and some orange juice every day.
We always ask him if he likes lunch or dinner, and he would, you know, gently say, "Oh, thank you, I'm not hungry yet."
So Faye says she invented a way to trick Michael into eating.
We named all the food, you know, from soup to dessert with Disney characters. Cinderella ice cream or Peter Pan salad, Neverland green salad. His favorite would be the chicken littles.
But the only real food Michael Jackson concerned himself with was animal food for the pets in his multi-million-dollar zoo. It now includes an African elephant Elizabeth Taylor bought him for Christmas.
When Faye and I would shop for guests, like when we know celebrities are coming, so we buy a lot of meat and steaks and filet mignons, and coming from the grocery with ladies down the counter, and Michael would pass by, and he'd go, "Wow, Mark, are this for the lions?" He exclaims, "No, Mr. Jackson, these are for our guests," I'd say.
It seems Michael loves every animal except one, man's best friend.
He is scared of dogs, so we have a prohibition in the ranch of people or employees or guests bringing in dogs.
Just stop dogging me around.
Michael's best friends are lions, alligators, birds, llama, and the 2 giraffes who almost burned to death in a barn fire last year. That near tragedy spurred Michael Jackson into plunking down $350,000 to build his own firehouse. It's complete with a fireman and 2 fire trucks, all to keep his animals safe. And no members of Michael Jackson's animal family are more important than his babies, Alex and Max, his chimps. Chimps that wear diapers under expensive Oshkosh overalls, that bathe 3 times a day, that even wear perfume. And the chimps sleep in the best bed in the house. That's Michael's bed.
Usually, Max sleep with him, and then when Max gets wet, he calls me to take him out and bring him to the caretaker.
To be changed.
To be changed, yes.
Michael and the chimps are very close. In fact, they are probably the only mammals allowed to look at Michael with his clothes off.
He's a very private person, and in fact, he probably will feel naked if he did not have his makeup on.
Michael Jackson's mostly at home with two separate sets of friends, the rich superstars like himself, and the young children who touch the cord he tries so desperately to hold on to. Forget the animals. These are the surreal scenes the Quindoys say they'll never forget. His romps with the tiny children, the secret getaways with Liz Taylor, and the bizarre midnight escapades of Marlon Brando.
Mr. Brando, he's so large. He would have slim fast in the morning and lunch, and then after lunch he'd gorge himself with a huge bowl of salads and eat everything all the way to midnight.
Michael's strange kitty scene, saving Liz Taylor's life, and the day Brando broke down. That's next. Michael Jackson's secret home and private life exposed for the first time. His closest friends, the superstars, and the super young. Our Doug Bruckner has more.
Just throws his underwear and whatever he wears, and he loves that, and the towels, and I think he's pretty much acting like a kid.
Welcome to Neverland, the most opulent pleasure dome in America, a surreal emerald in the midst of dry California scrub, the place where Michael Jackson lives out all his private fantasies. Mark and Faye Quindoy were Michael Jackson's manager and chef for 2 years here, and they saw things they'll never forget, from weird personal habits to the biggest names in show business.
I'd line up the housekeepers with their nice uniforms and meet them by the front door, and of course the front gate would warn me that the guests are driving in, and we'd welcome them like Infancy Island.
And what a fantasy island, the massive estate with 56 acres of manicured gardens, an amusement park, a building just for his toys and games.
You'll have television sets around the spa, which are hidden in the rocks. With a push of button, the rocks come out and the VCR and the TV sets come out.
A full-sized movie theater stocked with Michael Jackson brand candies, where he keeps the original E.T., a room devoted to child star Shirley Temple, and another shrine to himself.
I have all the tour jackets there in showcases. I have all his tour jewelry. He loves to bring his guests there first when they come to the ranch.
There's even a cowboy and Indian village and a pirate ship in his man-made lake, so Michael can amuse himself with paintball guns and water pistols. Sounds a little childish for a 33-year-old millionaire, but that's the point. All this lavish richness is designed for Michael's most cherished guests, the ones between the ages of 6 and 11.
He would call me and says, "Mark, please give them freedom. Don't say to them, don't do this, don't do that, just give them freedom. I like the kids to enjoy themselves."
Michael's pals, Home Alone brat Macaulay Culkin, former TV star Emmanuel Lewis, the late AIDS hero Ryan White, just about any child who wants to visit, but what do they do in there?
They would like jump up and down on the $8,000 sofas, and that was okay?
Oh yes, and you know, it's funny, like you'd see about 7 or 8 6-year-olds, you know, clinging around his pants, holding his pants, and saying, "Michael, are you really rich?"
But the children aren't the only ones being babied here in Neverland. The Quindoys say they'll never forget the day Elizabeth Taylor raced here after her near-fatal bout with pneumonia 2 years ago.
We were offering to serve her food at her guest suite because she just got out of the hospital. And she would say that she'd rather eat by the kitchen, and she would not want to inconvenience anyone. She eats everything, although she's in a diet.
But nothing topped the night Marlon Brando showed up during the greatest tragedy of his life. For 3 weeks, as his son was prosecuted for shooting his sister's boyfriend to death, Marlon Brando escaped the messenger of misery in Michael Jackson's fantasy land.
He likes the egg white.
Only the egg white.
Only the egg white, no egg yolk.
Yes. A lot of egg whites.
But though Michael opens his door to so many friends, there is one person who is not welcome, his own sister, LaToya. After her tell-all book and Playboy spread, Michael banned LaToya from all family gatherings at the ranch.
So far as I know, only LaToya has never been there to the ranch. Otherwise, all members of the family have been there.
Mom and Dad.
Mom and Dad, brothers, their wives, the children.
Neverland, the place Michael Jackson can be himself.
He wants everything to look immaculate inside the ranch, except in his room when he tries to play games. You know, he just throws his underwear and whatever he wears, and he loves that, and the towels, and I think he's pretty much acting like a kid.
But there are times Michael leaves the cocoon, but instead of bodyguards, he's protected by disguises, and not the one of his sister Janet.
His favorite seems to be like an Afro wig. He wears a set of false teeth, you know, that's so funny. Sometimes it protrudes out like they were like fangs. And I'd say to him, look, everybody knows you're Michael Jackson.
But one of the strangest close encounters occurred when Michael Jackson ran into some of his Santa Barbara neighbors wearing one of his most elaborate disguises.
He had a great big nose on and some sideburns, and the nose was so big that you didn't want to look at him.
Linda Martin and her sister Patricia Black had the good fortune of a flat tire because guess who stopped to fix it?
They were jiggling around in the tire, and one turned to the other and he said, "Have you done this before?" And boom, boom, something went off in my head. It had to be Michael.
In 2 years working at the ranch, Michael always kept to himself. Mark and Faye Quindoy say they never got close to Michael.
He would look down every time he'd ask me a question and say, Mark, do you know what time dinner is at? And, you know, something like this all the time.
Mark and Faye left the ranch 6 months ago, before Michael ever really made eye contact. But they'll never forget what a special person their former employer is, or that time at 5 in the morning when the phone woke them out of a sound sleep and Michael was on the other end.
He just said that, oh, you know, Faye, I just want to tell you that I love Mark and you very much.
Doesn't he seem like just an enormously sweet, talented guy who needs to hang around with some normal people? Michael, call me, we'll get the neighbors, we'll play some touch football, we'll cook some burgers, we'll watch The Simpsons.